Let's rock him.
Let's get it on!
Sprawl and brawl, ground and pound. Get ready for an MMA showdown. Now, the ultimate Octagon Insider, Sean and Tristan Ducross.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Sports Warriors with your boys, the Ducross brothers. I'm Tristan Ducross on my side, as always. And my partner in crime, the one and only Sean Ducross. Sean, it's been a whirlwind in combat sports. Something we're going to talk later this evening is going to be none other than Ronda Rousey. We're going to get to that a little bit later this evening. But in the meantime, Sean, UFC on Fox 27, it flipped the combat sports world kind of on its head. You know, when you think about it, you're looking at Jacare Souza versus Derek Brunson. This was the second time. And it's weird because they got the lowest rating in the history of combat sports for the UFC. But on top of that, it's not good for the UFC because this was supposed to be the show. This was supposed to be the card, bro. That you're looking at UFC on Fox 27. The negotiating rights now play into the fact that, oh, well, your ratings sucked on our network. So now Fox has the upper hand because we're talking about the big Fox network. We're not talking about Fox Sports 1. We're talking about Fox, dude. And you put on a card like this. Was it this the UFC's way of just saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm over it. We're just gonna mail it in.
I wanted to think that, you know what, it was them phoning it in. I thought, you know what, this was just a throwaway card. But you can't just throw away your ratings just because you want to throw all your chips into pay-per-views. That's not how this works. But now you look at Jacare Souza doesn't draw. Demetrius Johnson doesn't draw. Who's left that's going to draw for UFC? This is going to be an ongoing discussion on this today's show because UFC says they're the best. Bellator says they're coming for them. But we're running into very similar issues here that we'll break down over the course of the next hour. Is that when you look at Jacare Souza rebounds and beats Derek Brunson. He gets talked about that he's the next guy up on the food chain. But is he really? Is he really the top of the food chain? Because people were thinking, oh, you know what? He needs to face Chris Weidman next. Hold your thought on that one. Chris Weidman, why would he be next? Why would you think that he needs to be the next opponent for Jacare Souza when he's 1-4? How does that even make sense? Look at Kelvin Gastelum. Yes, we have joked numerous of times about how this guy could potentially even get on the upper echelon and compete with the guys and say, you know what, this guy should be the next title contender. But wait, why? Because he misses weight, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. But the guy Kelvin Gastelum, he's 3-1. 3-1. He knocked out Michael Bisping. So if you're talking about putting somebody up on a pedestal and saying, you know what, this guy deserves an opportunity or deserves a chance at a title, at the middleweight title, then why not take a step back and say, how about this? Jacare Souza, you want your opportunity to maybe finally crack into the top 5 and get a title shot? Fight Kelvin Gastelum. Fight against him. Because that's where this needs to be if Jacare Souza is even a real title contender.
Dude, even if Jacare Souza isn't even a title contender, you know, you even have David Branch that's out there, dude. He has done very little in his transition back into the UFC.
Yeah. David Branch has not done what many people thought he was going to do coming from World Series fighting. But that's another guy. You're talking about the middleweight division. There's other fighters that could potentially rise up and compete at a high level. And we have backed Jacare Souza. We felt that Jacare Souza deserves an opportunity. But at the same time, it's like, what have you done for me lately?
Very true.
What have you done to put on a show for the fans? Yeah, you know what? You knocked out Derek Brunson with a crazy head kick. Cool. But you're not entertaining to the fans. Yes, we'll be the first ones that'll speak openly about the fact that the fans have no right to boo. And that's what we'll get to about Bellator 193. Trust me on that one. But you have no right to boo. And to say, well, he's boring. Yeah, he may be boring, but he shouldn't. Just because of that doesn't mean he should not be placed on a card. Does not mean he should not get his opportunities. So he should get everything that he deserves. Give him his chance. It doesn't mean he needs to main event a card. I mean, look at Bellator. They don't put their titles on as the main event on any card.
Yeah, but that's because Viacom tells them they can.
I get that, but still, you get my point. So, why not Kelvin?
Where does Derek Brunson then go from this?
Back to the drawing board, figure it out what's next. That's what needs to go. You're talking about what's next. What's next for Dennis Bermudez? Dennis Bermudez from Team Alpha Male. It seems like Team Alpha Male hits this plateau. Oh my God, we're the juggernauts. We're going to do this. Then where do they go? How can a once elite fight team rise through the rankings so quick and so fast and became the biggest powerhouse in mixed martial arts, or one of them, fall so quick and so fast? It again comes back down to TJ Dillashaw. Is what he's saying about Team Alpha Male real? It makes you wonder what's next when Dennis Bermudez continuously loses via split decisions. He's now 0-3, 2 of them via split decisions. They say this one was controversial. And then he goes out and calls out, I want a top 10 fight. Pump your brakes. We need to reassess this again. Because, again, there's something else going on underneath the underline here.
It is very controversial when you're looking on every single fight card. Every media news outlet, bro, they have said Dennis Bermudez hands down won this fight. But the way I see it is that, again, the one issue I always have with judges is that the judges have short-term memory loss. And I say that openly and jokingly because we know a lot of judges in this fight game. But let's be real for a second. Their attention span is about this much because you're watching an entire fight for about a good, 10, 15 minutes most of the time. When you're looking at this fight, most of the fight was just a back and forth seesaw kind of fight. Good, intense fight from the beginning. But then something happened in the very last bit of the fight. And it was a Dennis Bermudez takedown. That is it. Everything else could be a complete wash because of that one takedown. Doesn't matter about the stringing the fights together. Doesn't matter about how strategic the game plan was. A judge sees a takedown and immediately that's all they remember. That's all the judges saw in this. Because I watched the fight. And I could not believe my eyes when, with the score being read, I was like, dude, like everybody. I think the judges got it right entirely when you're looking at these two guys going to war. And everybody that claims to know the sport says, oh, well, the takedown deserves to win. Dude, that's not how fighting works. Put a game plan. Strategic attack. Back and forth. Who's pressuring the fighter? Who has cage control? Do all these criteria no longer matter? Because so mmany people, what was it? Well, we're going to talk about the Lorez Larkin fight here momentarily. But, man, you talk about that, and this will tie into what we're talking about right now, is that you have so many people that are so biased towards the one and only. And, man, I get it. I get it so twisted when you think that you're, just because you're a top fighter, you have friends, means that you get the W? What was it? Who did we see? Oh, the Douglas Lima, Rory McDonald. How many people thought Douglas Lima won that fight, Sean?
A lot of people.
But were they watching the actual fight? Because if you put the bias and the standard of the DNA of what it means to call a fight, you would have understood that at that pinnacle time, that point in time, it is all said and done. If Lima would have kept kicking that leg over and over and over from the beginning, it would have been a different fight. But most of the fight, Rory was doing the most work and the most damage. Just like Andre Fili was in this. I'm sorry, folks. You can try to spin it to me. You can try to tell me that you're looking at the Andre Fili Dennis Bermudez fight. That, hey, Dennis Bermudez won this fight. No, he didn't. It exactly went according to plan. It went the decision. So where does Dennis Bermudez go from here? That's the question. Because fight fans have to be annoyed. People that are watching us right now have to be giving the mad emojis. Because you got to be pissed off about Dennis Bermudez. But as the fight fans, the ratings for UFC on Fox 27 was 1.7 million viewers. The lowest rating since the series itself started. On top of that, the previous low was 1.98. Let's go ahead and round it up to 2 mil. That was August 27, 2016, Damian Maia versus Carlos Condit. You're looking at a 300,000 drop-off in viewers. Really? Come on now. Are you really not that entertained by these people? So, if you're in Dana White's shoes, wouldn't you look at an alternative? If your guys are not drawing ratings, why would you do this? Why would you continuously put fight cards on that nobody cares about? That is the question that many people are going to have to start to ask. But in the meantime, we're going to a break. We're going to do something a little bit different. And you know what? It was brought up interesting just now that, yeah, you know what? It was up against the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl was on, yeah.
But at the same time, though, is that if you knew you were going up against the Pro Bowl, why would you just phone it in? Why would you just go, yeah, you know what, Pro Bowl?
See, that's what I'm saying. Is
why not? Why did you put the fight card on the first place then?
On the Pro Bowl.
And risk losing more money than what you're already losing. But not even just that, dude. You put a weak card on a big-time network where your contract is expiring. So if it was against the Pro Bowl, you want to blame the Pro Bowl. That's cool, but you phone it in with a weak card. You then put it on the big network, not Fox Sports 1, but the big network in Fox. Now you just gave all the negotiating power for the new contract to Fox. So unless Dana White and company have a backup plan, they are losing fans. They are losing money. This was not a good ploy by the UFC to go in with this card on the big network and lose all negotiating power. Sit on that for a minute. We are the Sports Warriors. We are the Ducross Brothers. I'm Tristan Ducross. On my side, as always, is my brother, Sean Ducross. Sean, we have an incredible show. I mean, it is stacked from top to bottom. But one thing I want to let everybody know, everybody that's in that chat room,
everybody that's watching
us, spam this out to everybody. The brothers, Antonio McKee, he's coming on the show here soon with Team Bodyshop. We're going to try to do something different. Live on Facebook, Team Bodyshop MMA with the Sports Warriors. What? Sit tight because we got Bellator 193 Fallout. The boos heard around the world. Don't want to miss the rest of this show. The Sports Warriors, where real opinions and real talk meet with combat sports. Every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Facebook. All right, everybody. We are the Ducross Brothers. We are the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Ducross. With me, as always, is a dude that looks like me, that's not dressed like me. That's Sean Ducross. Sean, what an incredible show we have. So, we got a new look layout. As you can see, we got new commercials. We got a new graphic system going here. But in the meantime, be on the lookout. We're going to go live soon to Antonio McKee and Team Bodyshop. And that, my friend, should be
epic.
It should be epic.
Also, a little bit nerve-wracking to
right?
do
A little bit nerve-wracking to do a live interview.
No script.
No script. No nothing. Your boys with Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, Baby Slice, and Joey Davis. All with the brothers. In the meantime,
we got Bellator 193. Lorenz Larkin versus Fernando Gonzalez that caused a lot of stir one way or the other. Fernando Gonzalez came in overweight by 0.3 pounds. People took offense to that because it's like, dude, it was a catch weight. How did you not make it? But now you look across the bow and you say, well, this fight was done. This was the first time since Lorenz Larkin arrived in Bellator where he showed that killer instinct at the end. He was looking to finish the fight against Fernando Gonzalez. Fernando Gonzalez started off a little bit aggressive and then kind of faded towards the end, and it was looking as if Lorenz Larkin was just too much and started to find a home for his left. And when you look at it, it was like, okay, this is the Lorenz Larkin everybody's been waiting for to establish himself in Bellator, and why Bellator signed him as one of the hottest new free agents to acquire. But you begin to wonder, who does he fight next? There's not a lot of guys that stand out on the card right now in terms of his positioning.
Lorenz Larkin, though, at this point, right now, is the only logical fight that I see him making is, and this is a big if, depending on if he gets his release or not from Bellator, is
the rematch that he called for.
The rematch that he called for, which is Paul Daly, because on paper, many believe that Lorenz Larkin should have, without a shadow of a doubt, gone in there and beaten Paul Daly. Except that at that point in time, he got knocked out. So he got set back. So here we are, fast forward. I think that's all we can think about right now is that you have to put Lorenz Larkin versus Paul Daly, and then the winner of Paul Daly and the Paul Daly versus Lorenz Larkin 2 is then you can consider if Lorenz Larkin is in fact ready for a title contention. Because he failed the first time, and then he just kept going backwards. So I hope this stopped the slide and the momentum and can push him right back up to the forefront.
And if it does, then it's going to be very great for Lorenz Larkin But it would be interesting, like you said, to see where Paul Daly ends up. Does he get his release officially from Bellator? Or does Bellator kind of do what they did with Rampage and kind of keep him on the wings and bring him back when it's ready? The other guy that maybe you push for a little bit is the guy that they seem to kind of baby a little bit. And that's Michael Venom Page. Maybe it's time to give Michael Venom Page somebody else that is of quality caliber and push him to that next level.
Well, because many people don't think that Michael Venom Page has fought relatively anybody. And if you go back to the Fernando Gonzalez fight versus Venom Page, again, you flip the coin on that fight and who won. But in the meantime, you're looking at Fernando Gonzalez that had a golden opportunity to stand up and believe in what he can do inside that cage. And hearing all the rumblings about what led up to this fight and about the issues, let's make something perfectly clear. That crowd at Pechanga Resort and Casino was pro the Menifee Maniac.
Of course, because it was close to Menifee. So, of course, that's how it was. And you know what? It is true. Lorenz Larkin is one of the most inconsistent fighters with the highest level of potential that I've ever seen. Like, if this guy can put it all together, there's not a lot of people that can probably beat Lorenz Larkin. When he's 100% dialed in,
dude, the angles, the head movement, the power, the speed, it's all there.
He's got to be one of the more frustrating fighters because you see all this potential, and like I said, you saw the killer instinct, and you're like, that's the Lorenz Larkin we want to see. If he puts it all together and does that, dude, he's coming for that title.
It's written pretty much on paper that Lorenz Larkin can become that staple that he needs to be. Now it's whether or not you can put it all together and prove that he is every bit as good as everybody says that he is.
When you look at trying to put it all together, every bit as good as everybody says he is, another guy on this card was Syed Awad. Syed Awad is one of the better strikers in this game for Bellator, and to see him kind of float as essentially the gatekeeper, if you will, you got to look at it, and Syed Awad says, I want a title contention fight. He wants that chance at Primus and Chandler. He wants the winner out of Primus versus Chandler too. So does he deserve it? If so, who would his next opponent be? The only one as a viable candidate to get him to where he wants to be is that he needs to take on the winner of Derek Campos versus Patricky Pitbull.
Oh, no question.
Other than that, you're kind of teetering on the line of, well, is he really worthy of an opportunity at being a number one contender, or is there something else to it? You've got to weigh your options here with Syed Awad. I mean, every time I've seen that guy, he's been entertaining. Every time anybody has seen, he's put strong fights together and won.
Dude, but isn't it just me? But Syed Awad, is it just me? Dude, last time we saw this guy fight, I think he broke his hand too. And he broke his hand again in this fight. I'm just fearful that now that his career might be starting to wind down due to how much damage that hand is taking over and over again and breaking it. To be able to finish the fight in the dramatic fashion that he did against Ambrose with a busted hand tells me that a guy like him honestly believes that he should be right there at the top of his game and getting a title shot eventually. I just don't know if it is now or give him a little bit more time. Right.
And that is the question. It's just like, that's the question with Lorenz Larkin. Is now the time that he gets a chance at an opportunity to be thrown into the number one contendership, or do you have to wait a little bit? But fans were growing impatient through that fight where they ended up booing Lorenz Larkin almost to the point you couldn't even hear the guy. But it's like, why are you booing him? They just put on a show for the fans. It was not boring by any stretch of the imagination. They were throwing down. Larkin tried to finish that fight. That's the thing about fight fans. sometimes they're so confused about what they see that they're more entertained.
That's what I keep saying.
About what's going on in the audience than what's actually going on in the octagon. But are fight fans starting to lose hunger or the eager of what they're watching? Because Bellator, this fight, 193, had only 470,000 viewers. Bellator 190 about 2 weeks ago drew 394,000 viewers. Last week's tentpole event drew only 770,000 viewers. 7 tentpole events now have drew less than 500,000 viewers.
But how much do you pertain that to the fact that everybody could get live totals online, and a lot of this stuff is all pre-taped?
It is. But if you're declining in ratings, no matter if it's pre-taped or not, if you're still declining in ratings, Tristan, shouldn't you reevaluate your situation? Shouldn't you look at what you're doing to try to draw more people in? Am I wrong? Fight fans that are watching it, thumbs up if you think I'm right. The promotion should be giving back to the fans, putting more entertaining fights on a little bit more consistently. Maybe pulling back a little bit about how many fight cards they put on. You got to weigh everything, and I don't think everybody is fully invested right now, and they're just waiting for, we'll throw this one out, or we'll throw this one out. People are not watching. People are not like, they're not engaged right now. So you got to look at it and go, what can we do better? And right now, I don't see anybody doing any better because there's nobody that can draw.
Very true.
You've got people that are here and they needed to be here. And your biggest comparison is, again, when you look at Conor McGregor and what he's done. Nick Diaz, the Diaz brothers, and how they speak and how they put themselves out there.
You have to
There's
have something
nobody
to buy
else
in.
out there that sells and is willing to put in buy-ins.
And I love the fact that people blame that whether you can talk or you can't talk as to why people don't want to buy in. You know, you just have to be able and ready to put on a good fight to showcase what it is. If you can't, what is the point at this point in time? You have to continue to grow with the product, and I don't see them growing with the product.
No, and it's going to be interesting to see how much their ratings continue to decline.
You
and
have
how
Paramount and Viacom together.
Yeah.
You're telling me none of them, their own network, with their own MMA promotion, you're telling me that you can't get them live? It's your own network. What about this, too? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Paramount and Viacom own Showtime. So instead of going to pay-per-view, why not go to Showtime?
Didn't think about it that way.
Let's change the game and the course of the way mixed martial arts is perceived to people. Everybody wants to see MMA live, not pre-taped. Everybody can get the results online before the event is ever aired. There's 2 platforms that are being underutilized by MMA. That's all I'm saying.
And
Underutilized.
Vastly underutilized. And options are all there. Why not use it?
Yeah, absolutely. Classic Lorenz. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we were saying, man. There's times where that guy is a force to be reckoned with. Then there is times where you're left like, what is going on here? But yeah, we totally and absolutely agree
and that's
with that.
where the conversation was going to be is like, you know what? UFC Fight Night 125. We're going to touch on that. I mean, we got a little bit of time before we go into break. Maybe we'll just go ahead and pull that into here because it kind of ties in to what we're talking about with Bellator 193. Bellator 193, and you're looking at the future and the ratings and everything like that. This fight card, UFC Fight Night 125, seems a lot better than what UFC on Fox was. Lyoto Machida returns versus Eric Anders. You've got John Dodson on it. You got Valentina Shevchenko making her flyweight debut against a stud in Priscilla and Kohira, who's 8-0 with 4 knockouts. Both premier stand-up strikers. They're going to put on a show for the fight fans. But my question is Shevchenko ready physically for the drop to flyweight?
I don't know, because it's the same question that we have with John Dodson. Because John Dodson moves down from bantamweight to flyweight, now from flyweight back to bantamweight in his fight. So, again, here we got 2 fighters that are battling their own diet issues and bouncing back and forth. Both of them, I'm interested to see how their weight cut has gone. I'm interested to see how they look physically, because that'll be a tall tale come showtime. John Dodson, I believe this is his last hurrah. You're looking at a 19-9 guy versus Pedro Munoz, who's ran off 4 consecutive fights. I'm thinking that this is the time that where John Dodson, if anything is going to happen with his career about getting another potential title shot, it has to happen now. It has to. You're looking at a guy that can only fight for so long, because the longevity of a future contender is very short-lived. And when you're looking at John Dodson, who a lot of people love his character, love the way that he can sell fights, but he hasn't really been able to string fight wins together. And that's an issue with John Dodson. He needs to use his elusiveness and his speed to keep the distance away from Pedro Munoz. Or people are sleeping on Pedro, and I think Pedro is going to beat John Dodson. So what does that tell you about John Dodson then? And where does he go?
So that's a good thing that Shevchenko, she walks around what I'm guessing is 135. So dropping down to 125 shouldn't be an issue if you do it over across the week. I hope you're right. I hope that this is the correct weight class for her, and she realized she was a little bit undersized for the bigger women. It will be an interesting contrast against Priscilla to see what's going to happen, how this fight is going to go down.
I'm trying to also be genuinely understanding about the main event with Lito Machida and Eric Anders, but many people have thought that Lito should have retired. 39 years old, way past his prime, on the downside of his career, and he's taking on a brute striker in Eric Anders. If this ends dramatically, like Eric Anders lights up Lito Machida, many are going to question whether Lito Machida should have ever been involved in this fight. It's crazy to think that Lito Machida gets a shot against Eric Anders. And I say get a shot at him because it's an honor for Eric Anders to step inside a cage against Lito Machida, who in my eyes is a top 10, maybe top 15 gatekeeper in the UFC right now. So for anybody that wants to make a name, here's a guy that you can make a name off of. He's 39 years old, long in the tooth, over the age of being competitive, and on the downside of his career. But yet he's still a name. He's still a top 15 fighter. Eric Anders takes him out. He gets jumped into the ranking system. How does that bode for Lito Machida's career?
If Lito Machida gets knocked out by Anders, it needs to be a career. It needs to be a wrap. Because you're looking at Anders who's 30 years old and is a powerhouse. Will Lito Machida be able to keep that distance that he's so accustomed to? Will he be able to establish that and avoid the angles and the power of the boxing skill of Anders? It's going to be an interesting fight. This whole card is interesting for me compared to UFC on Fox 25. So if you're looking for something to watch, this is one of them.
Dude, it's incredible. So, dude, we're going to go to a break. going to come out of the break, set you up for a big interview that looks like we will have Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, and Baby Slice of Team Bodyshop live with your boys, the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors. The only way we know how to do. Real opinions, back to real talk. You can hit us up on Facebook, Sean and Tristan Ducross. We'll talk combat sports all day. You can also hit us up on our fan page, The Ducross Bros. In the meantime, go to our website at www.ducrossbrothers.com. Right there. We'll be right back. The Sports Warriors, where real opinions and real talk meet with combat sports. Every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Facebook. The Sports Warriors, where real opinions and real talk meet with combat sports. Every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Facebook. The Sports Warriors, where real opinions and real talk meet with combat sports. Every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Facebook. The Sports Warriors, where real opinions and real talk meet with combat sports. Every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Facebook. All right, everybody. Well, if Sean turns this back on real quick. All right, everybody. We are the Ducross Brothers, the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Ducross. This is my brother, Sean Ducross. Everybody that's tuning into us right now, appreciate it. But, dude, we're just beginning. Team Bodyshop MMA. The man behind the team that is tearing up the world, simply known as Antonio McKee. Bringing the baddest guys on the planet, AJ McKee, Baby Slice, Joey Davis, Aaron Pico. Top guys that have only seriously lost 2 fights. Going hard in the paint. Coming on the show with your boys. Let's see if we can get this rocking and rolling. So until we get them going, we will figure this out as we go. What's up, Antonio McKee?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Welcome to the Sports Warriors. Thank you for tuning in with us.
Oh, no problem, man. Pleasure to be here. I'm getting ready to go upstairs so we can sit down. And AJ is right behind me. We just finished training. We stayed a little late today.
Well, how are you beating your son right now if you're in front when he seems to be the quicker one?
You say, how am I what?
How are you in front of AJ McKee when he seems to be the quicker one?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit smarter right now.
All right. Sean, you got it?
He's catching up.
All right. Trying to get this going on our side.
What's going on? Something wrong?
Yeah, it's not picking you up for some reason. We can hear you, but we can't see you. Trying to get this to
I can
pop
see
up.
you guys.
I know. We're trying to get you up on our screen. We can see you off into the right-hand corner, but we can't.
There we go.
Oh, there you go, Sean. All right. So, everybody, you guys can see Antonio McKee okay? This is something new. So, Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, Thank you guys for joining the Sports Warriors. It's an honor to have Team Bodyshop MMA on the show.
You know why?
What's up?
I say, you know why?
What's up?
The Bellator fucking takeover is real. We taking over Bellator. I told them a year ago, I said, look, 2018, the takeover is real. I made shirts, Bellator takeover, support the movement. On the back, it's got Joey Davis, AJ McKee, Kimbo Slice Jr., and Aaron Pico. And so far, you see what's happening. Pico, first round knockout. Joey Davis, first round knockout. Kimbo Slice, first round finish. AJ, first round. I mean, we doing it. We doing it. I told y'all this was going to happen.
Dude, we did some digging. You guys are something like 18-1 as a team now.
Yeah.
That's
We're more than that,
insane.
actually. We're more than that. You're just looking at the top guys. You didn't look at all the other guys. I just had another guy win. Like, you know, people, for some reason, I don't know, and I don't want to make it a race thing, but I don't understand why blacks don't get the credit in this sport for being good teachers. I mean, we teach everything else, but why is it that it has to be we're treated so different? When it comes to jiu-jitsu, blacks been doing jiu-jitsu for so long. This ain't nothing new to us. You know what I mean? But yet, no one wants to go and learn jiu-jitsu over at the body shop. Oh, all they do is wrestle over there. Okay, well, you come over here and see.
Yeah, you took a guy like Baby Slice, who many people was already writing off into the sunset, saying like he's not going to be a good fighter, when you took him underneath your wing, and look at him now. He's a very competitive fighter. He's taken to the next level. He won his last fight via rear naked choke. So it's like, you guys, everybody needs to recognize what Team Bodyshop is doing and the pedigree that you guys are establishing at such a high level.
Dude, hey, you have no idea, dude. Dudes come from the UFC and they get their ass kicked in my gym. They go, man, I don't understand. All I can say is you can come in and you either going to get put on ice by the Joey Iceman, or Aaron Pico, the Matador, is going to knock your ass out, or AJ's just all over. He does whatever he wants to do. Wherever there's a weakness, he'll expose you. And me, I'll put you on your ass and hold you down and rape you. So, I mean, you know, we're having fun, and we're not doing it for the publicity. We're doing it because I really love my guys. You know what I mean? We have such a good relationship in the room. I don't have all these coaches. I got Jason Manley, who does the jiu-jitsu one couple days a week, work with guys off to the side. I put the complete package together. I understand the sport from submissions to takedowns to striking, and I've kind of modified the striking for MMA. And a lot of these guys are doing Muay Thai 1, 2, 3 punch kick. You get a guy that's athletic, you know, 1, 2, 3 punch kick, that's not going to work. You got to catch him. You got to set traps. So, you know, I'm just having fun. There's no articles. There's no one coming down to interview us. We're just humbly kicking ass. And by the time it's all over, we're going to have all the straps.
You've got pretty much almost every, I think you have like, what, one fighter at the top of the food chain in every weight class so far?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's going down. And we're recruiting guys who are not that good. If you're not that good, I want you to come train with us. Why? Because you're the underdog. And that's what we are. That's why it's not Team McKee or Antonio McKee this. It's Team Bodyshop. This is the place where bodies get together and we work as a team and we're successful at it. It's not alpha male, all that old egotistical shit. I ain't into none of that. We'll beat all those guys up. You can take any gym you want to go to. We'll go pound for pound, weight for weight, body for body, and we'll come out on top.
How did you ever come up with the name Team Bodyshop?
It started out as, you know what, I love the body. And I wanted a place where people could come and get their bodies fixed. Before I did any of this, I was a physical fitness trainer. I boxed, I wrestled, I did judo. So I was like, man, we got to call it the Body Shop. Where you come and you bring your body to get work on. And then that was very successful. I was a very successful gym. And then I started training like Randy, Tito, Rampage. I started training the big boys. And then I was like, damn, wait a minute. I think I'm kind of good at coaching and fighting. So I did both. But then I was like, you know what? The sport is missing the team dynamic. It's missing that. So I was like, you know what? We are Team Body Shop. They would always say Body Shop Fitness, Body Shop. No, Team Body Shop. Team Body Shop. We're a team. This is the Body Shop. And so now we're on a roll, baby. We're on a roll. We're gonna keep rolling too.
When I was looking at your roster and I was thinking like, dude, like there's some guys that are legit bangers. You talk about almost like a team morale that's coming in there, family oriented. You about the underdogs, but how crazy has it been to have a Division I wrestler on your roster, to a Golden Glove boxer on your roster, to you and AJ, all seriously putting a amazing game plan together that are just running through the ranks, and I don't think anybody wants to face you guys right now.
Well, I've coached Pico when Pico was 5 years old. I coached AJ, I think Pico was like 5 or 7. He was a little kid, him and Cade and the Valencia boys. I mean, I was deep into wrestling. And then the bigger my career got, I started showing them stuff when they were kids. Joey Davis has been training with me since he was 5 years old and is in my garage. He was the reason why I started a gym, Joey and AJ. So then he went to high school. He would always come back, and I would always have him fighting. I would have AJ fighting. I was always prepping and gearing them up. Once these guys got what they got out of the sport of wrestling, I had a business meeting with them, and I said, listen, you can wrestle and you're going to beat your body up, and you're not going to make any money. In fact, you're going to have a medal that says first place on it. But what is it worth? Okay, so I kept grooming these guys to transfer from wrestling to MMA because this is truly the sport professional for wrestlers. Once they learn striking, no one can control us on the ground. People talking about, this jiu-jitsu, get that shit out of here. I respect it, but I don't fear it. You know what I mean? I'll fight a 10th degree black belt. I don't give a shit. Once you hit them, all of a sudden that jiu-jitsu goes out the window. Or I just outwork them. So I already knew these guys were going to be good because I've been planting the seed. So them coming, it's like they never left.
And two, isn't it that when it comes to wrestling that the cardio too tends to be on another level? Not a lot of people can go toe to toe with a wrestler because their cardio seems to be a little bit higher than some.
Yes, I will agree to disagree. I agree with what you're saying, but the problem is once you get better at jiu-jitsu, you lose your cardio because you don't have to work as hard. There's stalling points. And so once you've spent 2 or 3 years on the mat, you know where the stalling points are, just like wrestling. Wrestling is hard to stall because the guys are constantly attacking. So I try to keep that same mindset like a wrestling match with the skill set, but yet at the same time, maneuvering through it like a grappling match. AJ, I think you're next.
So, Antonio, before we get to AJ, how has it been coaching your son? When did that transition come that you wanted to start teaching AJ into this field?
Well, when I started, I went undefeated for about 7 years, I think, and in 3 different weight classes. I was very cocky, very arrogant. I talked shit. I challenged anybody from 155 to 165 to 170 to 185. I had no problem with fighting any of these guys. Hell, I just said, I don't think I'm at the right age, at the right time of this sport. I'm not going to be able to accomplish what I want because I wasn't an ass kisser in the UFC. In fact, I told Dana White to go fuck off. That didn't help my career any. I wouldn't sign my ancillary rights over. So being educated set me back. But it was no difference than me saying I don't want to ride in the back of the bus anymore. All I said is I'm not going to allow you guys to whore my body physically and pay me peanuts and expect me to get out here and put on a punching, kicking show for you because I see the results of those guys now. They're messed up. So with him, I started teaching him the opposite of how to do all the hitting and kicking and punching and grappling without getting hit. And the son and father relationship, it's easy because I'm a dad. I'm a dad first. I'm a friend when we're not training. And then I'm a coach when it's time to get work. And I remove my emotions from each and every one of them based on what it is I'm doing. If I'm coaching him, there's no emotions. I talk to him just like I talk to the other guys. When we're done, we're laughing and smiling and having fun. He's like my best friend. And when he's fucking up, doing what he ain't supposed to be doing, and he's doing wrong, now I'm dad. So we're great.
That's a great father-son relationship.
Right, because you don't see that too often with father and son relationship actually meshing very well. And here you got the McKees blending well, blending training, fatherhood, as well as training together. It's an absolute pleasure to see you and your son flipping the game upside down.
Well, hey, you know what? Originally what it was about? It was about showing the world that there are black men that are good fathers. I don't think we get enough credit. And people always say, why do you always refer to color? Well, when you've been deprived because of your color, I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm not Snoop Dogg. I'm Antonio McKee from the hood, grew up with no parents, no structure, no foundation, 3 state championship wrestling titles, 5 years undefeated, 7 years undefeated in MMA, held one of the longest winning streaks at that time, and I was always treated like shit. Then I see a guy like Conor McGregor come from another country, talk more shit to American athletes, and the American system that supports the Americans that are here support him more than they support the Americans here, and he's uplifted and makes more money than any fighter in the history of mixed martial arts. This is simply insane to me.
That is the truth right there.
See, and Antonio, that brings something back to what we just talked about before we went into our break, was about the ratings. And the ratings are plummeting, whether it's UFC or Bellator. The ratings have slowly diminished, and yet we look at Conor McGregor being put up on a pedestal because he can talk. But yet the athletes that are competitive, like your son, like Michael Venom Page, somebody else, but doesn't vastly talk openly out there to put on a fight, put on a front, if you will, are not showcased like they should be. It's now we're just talking about who can talk the best. Why are we even doing that now?
Well, okay, I am a promoter, okay? I won't say the name of the organization that I own because you probably can figure it out on your own. If they want to look for me, then they can. But I own a promotion, and I have a guy that sells 300 tickets on top of my bar doing about $5,000 more when this guy fights. I understand where the money is. The money is in being marketable. And that Hispanic guy that sold those many tickets, I want him to fight on my show every time. Why? Because I'll make 10 grand off of this kid every time he fights from the bar and ticket sales. Now, there's another part of it that's integrity. This is for guys like Dana White who ain't never had a fucking fight. You know, not only Dana White, but owners of big organizations. They've never had a fight. So it's entertainment for them. I think you just need to find the middle. Yes, okay, here's your source of entertainment, but here's your kick-ass athlete. And you got to protect your investment. And Conor, like I said, America has been brainwashed over many, 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 many years and generations of generations to not support the individuals in America. How is it that when he fought Chad Mendez, more people were cheering for Conor than were cheering for Chad, and Chad's an American boy? This is our system, though. This is how dysfunctional we are in the United States, quote unquote, of America, the land of the free and the brave, which is completely the opposite. You are owned and you are part of the corporation that runs this joint. This is why this happens. People are not educated. Understand. I, as a promoter, understand entertainment. As sport, I want the best athletes. But sometimes the best athletes are not entertaining. I was one of those guys. But that's where you got to draw the line. It is what it is. We can't change it. Because fans want to see knockouts. I fought no different than Matt Hughes, Sean Shirk, and the rest of those guys, but yet they got certain fights that made them look like they were better than what they were. Versus a guy like Chad Mendez, a guy like, let's say, Matt Hume, or, there's a whole bunch of guys like Rampage. These guys got put in situations where they had to fight. And those are the guys that I want to defend. I want to go to bat for. Conor McGregor's a great athlete, and really he's tough. But as far as 145-pound division, dude, he wouldn't stand a chance against some of our guys. Aaron Pico would knock his ass out.
With a body shot.
Boom.
You know how many people would pay to see that fight? I'm serious.
But look, why would the UFC want to do that and kill their gatekeeper?
That's very
I'm telling you, I teach my guys, entertain the fans first. Fight second. That simple. You want to be successful in this business, people need to tell the truth about it. It's entertainment first, and it's fighting second. When it becomes a legit sport, because this is gangster. You ain't no punk fighting. When you get in there and that gate closes, you can talk all the shit you want. When that gate closes and that gate closes over there, and that ref says, "Are you ready?" and he asks him, "Are you ready?" My objective is to fuck you up, to physically hurt you, to knock you out, to beat you till the ref says stop. Okay, we're a very different breed. We ain't all functioning up here on the all up and up. And this is why you see so many dysfunctional fighters. It takes a special mindset to do this. Next, we're going to be fighting to death. Watch. It's coming. They're already doing it in Russia. It's going to happen here.
That's insane. I mean, we could keep going all day, Antonio McKee. We could keep going all day, going all over. I mean,
only here on the Sports Warriors do we continue to have an open forum, have real opinions and real facts, and Antonio McKee just embodied that. Is that this is exactly why we do what we do and love what we do, is because guys like you.
Hey, you know what? I would like to do a radio broadcast where people come on and talk to me, because I'm really educated, right? But they don't know that because, you know, I was playing a role when I was fighting. I was acting like the crazy black man, which it worked. But let me talk to you and educate you, because a lot of us are uneducated in this. They don't understand what goes on in a camp. They don't understand that our girlfriends give us a lot of shit before a fight. We can't have sex. The shortcut is shoot up steroids, but, you know, I'm against all that. We're all natural at the Body Shop. There's so many variables going and working against us, and then you got some fucking gay-ass keyboard warrior sitting behind a desk twirling foul shit to Rampage Jackson or Chuck Liddell or you know, just anybody, and they don't understand we're human beings.
We need we need you back on the show, just
right.
You, and we'll do that broadcast. We'll do an open forum, and we'll just do the whole show, just us and you.
And I will chop that shit up, and I'll have more people calling me stupid nigger and hanging up and cussing me out. You know why? Because they are ignorant to what this sport is about. This here, it doesn't matter how much money you got. You could be the richest man in the world, but you know what? Your girl will like me. You know why? Because I give her security. When you're a badass and everybody knows you're a badass, notice how everybody with money keeps a badass around them. We're fighters, bro. We're a breed of our own. And you know what? You're going to respect that. You can kill him. Look at Caesar. Caesar did all that ruling, but Caesar was nobody. He was just the face of the Roman army. His the guy, what was his name? That ran the military. That was the gangster. That was the one Cleo went and had sex with because she realized he was the man. Caesar was nobody. And what could Caesar do about it? Nothing. Because that man controlled the military.
Jeez.
See? So he was smart. He started having sex and raping the powerful men. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he's trying to send a message to the next two generations of warriors, of leaders, of what real power is. And to think that when you have a guy like me and somebody bends me over and takes my back hood and then pushes me back out into my community, what do the people think of me? So you gotta fight these guys mentally. You can't fight them physically. So when, like I said, when you put the two together, you become a true warrior. And that's what I am. I'm a true warrior. And I'm getting ready to fight again. We're going to do a Bellator father and son. And I'm going to go kick somebody's ass damn near 50 years old because I ain't done no steroids and I'm healthy. And guess what? Reflexes is good. And I'm training with the best fighters in the world. I'm ready to go for round 2, baby.
So do you have an idea who you will end up fighting?
I told them they can put me against anybody they want. You know who I'd like to fight, but I ain't going to say his name because he's a legend.
Come on, name drop it now.
Man, you already know I want to get a piece of Gracie. I ain't Frank Shamrock.
Let's go.
Antonio McKee versus Gracie, that would be an epic tale right there.
Team Bodyshop here with the Sports Warriors.
Man, check this out, bro. I'm so strong. I feel like I could crush him and break him in half. Pop! I'm a silverback gorilla.
Yeah, that is very true. So, why don't you now go grab AJ McKee? Let's get him on. Let's see
AJ!
Let's see how crazy we can get AJ.
AJ's the opposite. He's cool. Kimbo Slice is down. Is Slice downstairs?
Not sure.
All right, well, here's AJ. He's feeding his face.
Well, you better be eating something good.
He's eating carrots?
I wish.
What kind of sandwich are you stuffing your face with, AJ?
Egg whites, green peppers, red peppers, go. And sausage.
That sounds actually a pretty good combination.
I'm not going to lie. Now I'm hungry.
After putting in that work, you got to fuel up a little bit, you know?
AJ McKee Jr. with the Sports Warriors right here with Sean and Tristan Ducross. Team Bodyshop. Man, you're 10-0 running the gauntlet right now. The one guy that you keep coming back and forth with is James Gallagher, yet is this fight ever going to happen?
I don't know. Hopefully it happens within the next fight or two, because if it doesn't, you know, I got to move on. You know, I'm not going to stay stagnant, staying focused on something that's honestly completely irrelevant to me besides a little ego of just wanting to beat up someone who's disrespectful. So, I don't know. Hopefully it happens. I'd love for it to happen. I'm sure the fans would as well.
Would you like to fight him in Ireland or stateside?
No, I ain't fighting in Ireland. I already went over there. And disrespected him, beat his teammate up who's better than him. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for you to come to my turf. Talking all that smack. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about all his threats and this, that. Homie, in Ireland, all they got to worry about is knives. I'm going to show you that real LA life, homie. Like, if all I had to worry about was a knife, oh, boy, I'd love it.
It would be an easy win for you, AJ McKee, just like it seems to be an easy win every time you step inside that cage at 10-0. What's the future like right now for you with it being so bright with you at Team Bodyshop and your father?
Future for me, I would say first, just keep building the fan base, entertaining the fans, and knocking people out, you know? That's what they like. They like to see knockouts. They like to see finishes. So go in there, do my thing, keep doing my thing, and actually really show them what I'm capable of doing, because no one's really seen anything yet. And then, man, get that belt. Definitely get that belt this year, before the end of this year, and then head up to 55s and beat up some of those guys.
Do you want to be a 2-division champ?
I want to be a 3.
Whoa, then. So are you going to keep going up in weight, or do you want to go down and then kind of stay in the 3?
No. 45s is the smallest I'm getting. But over time, man, definitely, you know. You can always get bigger. You can never get smaller. So as the goals get bigger, you get bigger.
So how's your weight cutting going? Do you have like a dietitian being able to maintain your weight thinking about going up and down in terms of weight?
My dad, you know, that's why I kind of already had my mind set on getting the belt by the end of this year. And then he's like, he's my dietitian. He has doctor friends and stuff that study the body. So that's all their job. And they pretty much told him by the end of this year, like it's going to be time to go up before it'll just be straining my body a little bit too much. There's no point in risking that when I can just go up and get bigger, stronger, and faster and beat people up even easier.
If you get any faster than what you already are, you may be one of the scariest guys that have ever stepped foot in the octagon. I mean, that's just real true, because we've seen your highlight packages. We've seen your knockouts. There's not a lot of people in this game that's as quick as you are right now.
Yeah. So I feel like just putting power behind that speed. You know, speed creates power, but what if you have power off the launch and then the speed and then more power? That's just that's the writing of devastation all over it.
So what's your thought process, AJ, on the California rules about weight, that if you miss it, you go up? Is that also what played in your mind with the fact that you are going to go up in weight too and fight at a higher weight too in the future?
Depending with dieting, when you diet right, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But as I've been getting bigger, older, I'm starting to put on a little bit more weight in different areas. So I'm only a couple pounds off. Like I think I'm only allowed to come back 160 in California. I usually come back about 63, 64. So I'm a couple pounds off, which honestly isn't too much. You know, that's not waking up and chugging 4 bottles of waters like I normally do. So just chill off for the water, you know, and then like, okay, as soon as you get in there and you got an hour and a half, 2 hours to get ready for the fight, you got 4 water bottles to chug. Like, what is 4 water bottles, you know? You chug 2 like it's nothing.
And then by the time you get to the fourth one, you're like, really? Do I really have to drink the fourth one?
Exactly.
I mean, I'll drink 2, and then by the third one, it's just like, okay, I'm tired of, I'm kind of over drinking water.
Yeah. It's like a combination, too. You know, you hit somebody with a 4-piece, you're like, man, how much more is this dude going to take?
Which seems to be a very common thing with you, with anybody stepping across from you inside of a cage.
Yeah. Gotta go in there and get it done, man. I try to get them in and out, you know, as fast as possible, most style as possible, and just most entertaining way as possible.
So
I've been working some second tag moves.
AJ McKee here with the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross. AJ, before we head over to a baby slice.
He said Tekken moves, though.
Right?
He apparently plays video games.
Tekken.
Battleground. Catch me on Battleground. I just built my PC.
Oh, no.
Gotta catch me on Battleground, yo. Get off the couch.
Yo, wait, are you yelling at Baby Slice? Because I hear a baby crying in the background. Is that Baby Slice?
No, that's little Mason, man. That's the future of all future right there. That little boy. And then you got Slice who just walked in the door. Who's that?
What's up, Slice?
You got everything, buddy. Ooh. That man right there. Oh, shit.
How's it going, Slice? I'm Sean, and this is Tristan Ducross.
Oh, what's up, man? I'm looking at the sandwich.
See, everybody peeping my sandwich.
That's what we were saying. See, AJ, you can't be walking around with a sandwich like that, dude.
I left it alone. That's why he's peeping it. So,
AJ, how did the nickname Mercenary come up? Because what your dad was saying and describing you, Mercenary is very fitting.
Mercenary. I like guns. I like cars. I'm an adrenaline junkie. So, you know, for a fight game, I'm the mercenary. You know, I come in, they hire me to do a job. I sign that contract, and that contract is to go in there and take someone out. So it's he's crawling. So it's perfect for me, you know. My little brother just started crawling, so he's like mobile now.
I know my brother has his first daughter, and she crawls. So yeah, she runs away too.
It's no fun when they start crawling. They get into everything.
Yes, or they try to grab everything.
Well, he was doing that before. So it's even worse now.
All right, so passes off to Baby Slice. We'll get Baby Slice on here.
Again, good luck, and looking forward to seeing more of your fights and also having you on future shows.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you guys soon.
Man, Baby Slice, you look like your dad.
Okay. Oh, yeah, thank you, man.
It's like looking into a mirror.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You just got hair.
Right, exactly.
All right, Baby Slice, welcome to the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. But, man, there was a lot of hate on you early coming into this fight game. And all of a sudden now you've flipped the script and here you are running off a win streak. What's it been like?
It's been good, man. I'm just keep putting in the work, you know, keep learning every day, staying focused. That's the key.
What was it like when you landed at Team Bodyshop and started learning underneath the McKees and taking your fight game to the next level? Because you're not just showing that you're a quality striker now. You submitted your last opponent that I think shocked everybody.
Yeah, when I first got to Bodyshop, man, it was tough. I was getting beat up by everybody. You know, it was you know, I say when you go to the Bodyshop, you will know if you want to fight or not. That's for sure. Like, you would know if this is what you want to do. A lot of people come in the first week, they train with us, and then next thing you know, they're gone, you know. And then now it's only like 10 solid guys that we train with. So, yeah, the body shop is, it put me on, man, letting me know that this is what I wanted to do. And like I said, I was getting beat up by everybody. And now it's fun now. Now we're learning and everyone's getting better.
What part of your game do you feel you've expanded the most since joining the team?
I would say my wrestling and being able to dominate positions, because that's what I started with. When in high school, I started wrestling, and that's a big part of the game. Because if something's not going good on the feet, you just take them down and hold them and beat them up. So I would say I'm all well-rounded, honestly, because I'm still fresh. I didn't really have a trainer or anything, so they molded me into the fighter I am now.
What was it like growing up, I guess you could say, kind of in the shadow of your dad, and then kind of stepping out on your own? When did you know that the fight game was where you wanted to be too?
I always wanted to fight, even before my dad was fighting. I used to watch all the tapes, Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. I used to watch that as a kid. And he had me shadow boxing as a kid too. So even before he started, that's what I used to do. So I don't know, I always wanted to fight. I always was fighting in the streets too.
So, Baby Slice, with you starting to kind of put your game together and putting everything in front of you, what has it been like to finally be able to say that you've made it in Bellator or in mixed martial arts?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
What has it been like to say that you have finally made it in Bellator or mixed martial arts in general?
Oh, well, I can say, that's something like within me, like I feel like now I'm like becoming a fighter, Now I'm like, okay, like put in the work, and I'm not afraid who they put in front of me, and I'm ready to go. And it's all about believing in your coach and your teammates too as well.
With the name of Baby Slice, has there been any thought of eventually dropping the name Baby Slice and going with Kevin Ferguson Jr. or adopting a different name and being more of you?
No, I mean, that is who I am, like I am a junior. I'm a junior, so even if it's a different name, it's going to always be a junior. Kevin Ferguson Jr., Kimbo Slice Jr., Slice, no matter what, I'm always be a junior, so it all depends on what the fans want to call me, like some people call me Slice, some people call me Kimbo, so it's whatever the fans want to call me.
See, I could see people calling him Kimbo because, I mean, it's just so, it takes me back looking at you, just knowing.
Every time I look at Junior, I keep seeing his pop right in front of me.
Nice.
So what is next? Is there any plans for your next fight for Bellator? When can fight fans see you fighting next?
Soon, man. Soon. Me and AJ's gonna be in the same card. So right now, I'm just training, putting in the work, and just staying in shape. Getting ready, getting prepared before camp is even started. That's where the fighters want.
Antonio McKee talked to us about a Team Bodyshop takeover. You're saying that you are going to be on the same card as AJ McKee. Are we going to see more Bodyshop members on that same card in the near future?
Yeah, man. I think that's how we should do it. When me and AJ fought on the first card, we both got rear naked chokes. Joey and Pico just fought, and they both got body shot wins. So, I mean, I guess that's our thing. We're connected in there. Even though we're in there by ourselves fighting, we're still like connected in a sense.
That's great because I mean, you guys are showing the world what a unity or what a strong unit you guys are, and it'd be interesting to see if Bellator goes that next level and puts you all on the same card to do this whole takeover and say, hey guys, we're here. And what an honor would it be if you guys all fought for a title, right?
Yeah, I think it's coming, man. We're on a win streak right now in Team Bodyshop, us four. So, I mean, I feel like it's only right. We have AJ main event, Pico co-main event, and me and Joey on the main card. And, that's a takeover right there.
And do it in California, right?
Yeah, California or Miami. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
Dude, can they I don't think Bellator's been to Miami
Right,
yet.
I was just going to say that. Take it to
It will
Miami.
sell out.
South Beach?
It will sell out. It will. It will sell out.
305 right there.
Yeah, it'll sell out. I say by next year at this time, I think they'll be doing an event there.
That would be an incredible headline right there.
Yeah.
Team Bodyshop taking over MMA.
It will sell out, though. It's going to sell out for sure, though. There's no doubt in my mind that every seat's going to be sold in the arena. and all the celebrities are gonna come out. All the celebrities are gonna come out to that.
Just like in LA.
Yeah, just like in LA, right?
Stars shine bright at Team Bodyshop. Baby Slice, thank you for joining the Sports Warriors, taking some time out of your day. Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, thanks for joining us. We're the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Cross. This is my brother Sean
Hey,
Cross.
I ain't done yet.
Wait. Who gets yelled at? AJ?
No, me.
No, he's yelling.
I ain't done yet. I'm just warming up. Now let's get to the real interview.
Okay. Antonio McKee, talk to us, big boy.
Let's talk about why black fighters ain't paid.
Oh God.
What's going on?
So let's go. Hey, we're the Sports Warriors, dude. We keep it 100. So
Our tagline is cross the line.
Right?
We'll step up to that line all day.
Okay, and why they keep putting all these black people to fight each other when there's so many others out there we could fight?
that is very true. But the thing is that when you look at it, it has always been. We spoke about it earlier, a little bit earlier in the show about it. Is that I think it comes down to the fact that you have people that are afraid to put other people in there. Just like we're Native Americans. We were at a promotion out here in California, and they pit natives against natives. To me, we shouldn't be doing that. There's so many good fighters that we should be pitting other athletes against to make good fights. Why do you have to pit race against race for what? What is it better? What does it do? What's the point that it gets across?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Do you see them put whites against whites?
Right? That's the issue that we run in, but that's the society that we live in. You know, I was just talking to one of my buddies about this. Is that it's funny that people talk about, oh, race doesn't play in a factor. Race isn't much involved, but it fully is, and people are afraid to touch it.
No. Good girl. See you later.
You know, one of the first things they tell you when you have a publicist, don't ever pull the race card. Don't ever do this. How many times have you seen two Jewish dudes fight against each other?
Let me put you down. I go put you down.
0?
So that lets you know what's really going on. See, like I say, man, I'm a studier. I'm a historical studier. I study politics, religion. I study culture. I study human behavior. I should have a street degree in psychology. Notice I said street degree because I didn't go to school. I learned it out in the streets. And had I not figured out how to master that, I probably would be dead. You wouldn't be talking to me right now. I'd be looking at 25 or 100 years to life. But it's unfortunate. But I think we got to wake up. And we really need to look at the human race and stop looking at color. It's sad that I think as a black man, I have to be careful when I get pulled over. I have to be careful when I'm in certain neighborhoods. I have to be careful what I say and do. I think we need to be more about humanity, more of just the human race. You know what I mean? And let's get rid of color. But in order to do that, we got to change things on the economic side and political first.
Yes, we do.
Until you get guys that are in office like me, it's going to always be perpetuated that the Jews run the show and they tell us what to do and when to do and how to do it and how much they're going to pay us and when they're going to pay us. And then you have the others controlling the money and the cash flow. I mean, what do? You know, your livelihood depends on this, so you have to compromise. You know, but if we work as a race of human beings, then we can shut down and make some great changes. But this is why I get in trouble, because I shouldn't be talking about this type of stuff.
But that's the thing. You can't be afraid to talk about issues like this or political issues like this, because every step of the way that when you're talking about issues like this, you have to be open and understanding about what the issues are in order to move on or better something.
Oh, absolutely. But again, if you control your radio station and everybody you interview comes on talking smack about your radio station, you have two options. One, shut your radio station down, or two, change the image of your radio station, right? So we're in the same boat here, you know, and we're all trying to get to the same place. Me personally, if I was wealthy, there would not be homeless people. I'd build shelters, and I would make it where they could have a place to live. The medical industry, I have a couple of businesses where I'm involved in the medical, the billing, and how medical works. If you have a PPO versus an HMO, you get special treatment. I don't think it's fair that my mother is just as important to me as your mother is to you. But because I have more money than you, my mother gets a better treatment than you do. At the end of the day, they're both our moms, and if they don't get the treatment, they're going to die. So it shouldn't be about money.
Yeah, I completely agree with that one, because both our parents have very bad health in terms of their hearts. And to see what they go through with their health care, it is frustrating to me, because it's like we pay everybody these millions and millions of dollars to go to school, and to pick and choose who they treat, I feel like is what they do. And it's not fair to my parents' health. It's not fair to their kids and how they have to worry every day about what they go through. It's not fair.
Right. Economic depression. They're smart. They're smart how they set the system up. What we can do is just be smart, understand the system, and do what we can to get out of the system. I've never had a job, 25, 30 years, and I'm doing pretty well for myself. But I understand, I understand how this works. And like I said, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or change anybody's opinion. I'm just asking people to look at the facts and get behind what you feel is right, and understand when that's the way you feel, respect the way other people feel when they don't agree with you. Because I got a lot of people, liberals, they say, McKee, you're crazy, you talk nonsense, but yet I can back up all the stuff that I'm saying. I have facts. This is true. And if we start a race and we run for 1 mile, but I start you a half a mile in front of me, even if I'm faster than you, I'm still 9 times out of 10 going to lose the race. But what's starting to happen now is we're starting to run faster than fast, which means, I'm starting a half a mile behind, but I'm catching up to you. And so now when we go side by side, you can't even compete with me on the same level. And that's what's slowly starting to happen because of the depression and how we've been treated. Low incomes people have been treated. They're just missing education. When you're low income and you educate yourself, you understand the game and how to play, you got way more discipline. You have way more drive and desire and passion. People think I'm crazy or I'm so high energized. No, I'm passionate about being a good person to everybody. I don't care how much money you got. That's why me and Dana didn't get along. Man, I knew you when you were broke. You were a little kickboxing instructor doing something out of a gym. And all of a sudden you shave your hair bald headed and now you're the big studly scary guy. Come on, man. Miss me with that.
See, this is the kind of narrative that we need to change in this world that we live in.
Absolutely. I would love to sit and do an interview with the guy. Look, let's just talk. Let's talk man to man.
Dude, if I could get you two in the same room, oh my goodness, that would be awesome.
He would not do it. He would not. I told him, look, I'll pay you $10,000 out of my pocket. There's just some things that you just are so completely gone on. You forgot where you came from, or you forgot where you're going to go one day. You're going to die one day. None of this shit you can take with you. But how will people remember you? You don't have this great resume and people running around saying what a great guy you are. And it is what it is. I know when I die, people will say, he was a good man. Not because of what I said, but what I've done. I've laid the platform and helped a lot of people. And you can interview any fighter you want. If they know me, they'll tell you the same thing. Man, McKee, he's a great guy. He keeps it real. He keeps it real. That's what they all say. And I believe that's an honorable person. And I strive to be and walk with integrity.
One thing I've always said is that you only have your word. If you go back on your word, you don't mean anything, basically. Because in this world, all you have is your word.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So that's why I like Warrior Radio. What is this, Warrior what?
Sports Warriors.
I love Sports Warrior. You need to get more people on here. People need to hear the other side, man. And they need to be confronted with those who don't understand. Sit down with me. Talk to me. Get to know me as a person. Give me your insight on what you're thinking and why you think that. Why do you think it's cool to get on the internet and insult a fighter that just poured out everything he had in that cage and he lost? People get suicidal behind stuff like that. They trying to entertain the fans, and then you got somebody want to call Ronda this, and you stupid bitch, you got knocked out. You missed it. Why are people so damn evil?
Right?
You know,
it's just like we were just talking about. Why are you booing
Fighters
fighters?
and Fernando Gonzalez. Why are you booing them? They just left everything inside that cage. They put a good fight out there, and you're going to boo them?
Yeah.
For what?
Dude, that tells you the society that we live in, and this shit is being bred. The people are born they're just uneducated and lack intelligence. And so think about 25 years from now. That's why I said eventually MMA will be fight to the death.
And then what? Then what does that? What does that solve?
What does that prove?
What does that prove? You know
that you're a badass because if you're fighting to die,
hey, join the military.
Yeah, pretty much. Your radio show is gonna be banned, bro. They're like, you know that warrior shit? Yeah, get them off broadcast immediately. And then that little crazy Afro-American dude, what is Mandingo Warrior? What's his name? The Godfather, where he's multi-schizophrenic probably. Yeah, get rid of him too.
Only here on the Sports Warriors do we have a open forum like this that literally we have crossed every single barrier, every single topic. You can literally cross your T's and dot your I's.
I just like being honest.
But we need more people to be honest.
No, because some people can't handle the truth. Are you kidding me? You remember the movie when he said, you can't handle the truth while you're at home sleeping in your bed? You don't want the truth, bro. Ooh, that shit's painful. It hurts. It cuts like a knife.
Dude.
It cuts like a knife and it twists like a knife in your heart.
Dude.
Yes. She wants to tell you you're not the only one. Oh, no. Who is it? Your best friend. Oh, God. See, you don't want that truth. You wanted her to lie to you and tell it was just a one-night affair. You don't even know the guy. When you find out it was your friend, it hurts so bad.
You just want somebody to hold you and cuddle you and say everything's going to be okay.
Don't come to my house. You're supposed to be on antidepressants.
Don't go to Team Bodyshop. They'll tell you something different.
Hey, that's why when they come in, they hear, and then when we start training, man, who is this guy? He's an amateur. Huh? He's an amateur? Man, this motherfucker tapped me out 3 times. He's an amateur. See, your ego is left at the door.
Baby Slice got beat up left and right every single time he showed up at your camp. I mean,
hey,
question your manhood when you step inside Body Shop.
Hey, call Tyron Woodley and ask him where he's on his way back to. He's coming back to the Body Shop. You know why? Because over there, he had to work. Wasn't no, nah. And those fights he had, those are some exciting fighters when he intervened and acted. I mean, when he interacted with us. We saw the difference in his performance, and he just reached out to me, and I said, it's time to come back home, brother. Come on, get some of this work. We love you. We're not going to hurt you.
Wait a minute.
You mean we're actually going to get the old school Tyrone Woodley that we have been all yelling for? That, dude, I swear, this huggy bear isn't what Tyrone Woodley has normally been in his career.
But see, again, you're talking about a guy he's finished 9 fights. And a lot of those 9 fights have been impressive in the first round. Let's keep it real. You tell me a white guy or a Hispanic guy that will finish 9 fights at that level. Okay, we're talking some of the greatest fighters in the world in the UFC. Tyron Woodley's knocking him out in the first round. Now, he suffers a couple of injuries. We know the pimp and hoe game. He's a hoe, they're a pimp, and his shoulder was messed up. He went into this fight with a lot of injuries. No one ever said anything. They didn't rather get on national network and slamming. You know, so he's sending that negative message out to the people, and then all of a sudden everyone hates Tyron Woodley. But when he knocked out the last 3 or 4 people besides the boring kickboxer, striker, everyone was all about him. And then he has a couple bad fights with some injuries, and now he's labeled as this and that. Come on, man, it's not fair.
And they also apparently don't like the fact when Tyron Woodley actually speaks up and speaks his mind. Apparently, that's a no-no.
Well, you are black. You are in America. And we did put a contract. When you got your Social Security number and your birth certificate, you're awarded part of the property of the state, of the United States. This is a land of immigrants. which means we're a bunch of immigrants. Whether we're black, white, Mexican, it don't matter. If you're here and you got a birth certificate and a social security number, you're an immigrant. And you work for the corporation. We can talk about that another day.
That's a different topic for a different day.
Hey, they gonna mess around and come kidnap me, and it's gonna be y'all fault.
No, this isn't our fault. We gave you an open platform, and you took it. Literally.
You can't give me. You gonna get the truth if you put me on an open platform. You already know that.
Dude. Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, Baby Slice, all keeping it 100 with your boys, the Sports Warriors, with Sean and Tristan Ducross. Antonio, my man, thank you for taking your time and joining us.
Thanks for having me, man, and much love goes out to the Warrior Radio Challenge for the fighters, man. I'm all 100% in. Anytime you want to interview, you want to talk about some strange stuff, you got a deranged lunatic person on the other end, just call me on Skype anytime, and I'll put them in their damn place. You can even get Joe Rogan.
Let's go.
Who thinks it's okay to smoke all this damn pot and go to the other side and all that other shit? Cut.
Well, thank you for joining the show. This won't be the last time that we're probably going to have you on to talk about some randomness.
This might be the last time you're having a show, though.
Hey, that's why we're doing it on Facebook, and that's why we're not on ESPN Radio anymore.
Right? I think if we were on ESPN Radio, dude, they would have cut us off and shut us down. FCC would have been called.
As soon as I said Jew, cut!
Right?
Talking about us, we own the networks.
Wait, you're talking about US cut. Pull the trigger.
Race? No.
Save us.
But only here, with the Sports Warriors, bring it 100%, backed with real opinions, real facts, the only way we know how to do it. Thank you, Antonio McKee and company. You guys have been awesome to talk to.
Make sure you put, oh my God, Antonio McKee has went off.
Oh, dude, trust me, that will be my tagline.
They're going to be like, the nigga is crazy.
I'm going to tag it, the schizophrenic.
Too many punches to the head.
The schizophrenic Antonio McKee.
Yes, I like that. All right, you guys, thanks for having us, man. We appreciate it. We're going to continue to keep putting those wins out.
Absolutely.
Keep racking up the bodies. Thank you for joining us.
All right, take care.
Dude, what just happened? Literally went from 1A to 1B. We had Team Bodyshop on the show. Antonio McKee, AJ McKee, Baby Slice, all keeping it 100 with your boys. The only way we know how to do it is 100% truth and transparency. That's what we gave you guys.
Live on Facebook, no edit, no
filter,
no script,
nothing.
That's what makes us different and unique. You either love us or you hate us. But we don't hide
behind a paper. We don't hide behind a mask. We just delivered a 100% honest, truthful, transparent interview for everybody that's on Facebook Live and on Facebook. Can't change it. Won't change it. But believe it, the schizophrenic Antonio McKee should be his new name. Same.
And apparently he's coming out of retirement.
Yes, he is.
Tyrone Woodley is going back home to Team Bodyshop. AJ McKee and Baby Slice are scheduled to fight
on the same card.
So we are your boys, the Sports Warriors.
Hit us up on Facebook, Sean and Tristan Ducross. Our website, www.ducrossbrothers.com. Like our fan page, the Ducross Bros. Until next time, we're here. Cross that line.
Let's get it on! Sprawl and brawl, ground and pound. Get ready for an MMA showdown. Now, the ultimate Octagon Insider, Sean and Tristan Ducross.